Hey, what is going on, guys? DK. Back at you with another video here to bring the 3-game NBA main slate on Friday. Before I get into the video, if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. My name is DK. I make daily videos and live stream for NBA and NFL slates on Draftkings. If you're unable to watch these YouTube videos, I also upload on Apple Podcasts. Link in the description below. It is called the DKDFS Show. And if you could take a minute out of your day, leave a 5-star rating and review. That would help me out a ton because every single rating review bumps me up in the podcast rankings. If you are interested in signing up for premium content, I offer that on patreon.com. Obviously an NBA package as well as an esports package. Esports includes Call of Duty and CSGO. And finally, I want to thank Prize Picks for sponsoring this episode. Okay, is it not? What? Did it log me out? Hold on. Can I just go? Okay, there we go. Thanks. So if you're not familiar with Prize Picks, they will post fantasy scores. So you can take over, under, and fantasy points, basically. So let's see. They have a lot already posted for tomorrow. So just like one example, like Derrick Rose, 32 fantasy points. Do you like the under? Do you like the over? Well, right now they're giving them like all the mids it can handle. So I feel like that one you probably want to take the over on. Randall's been shooting awful this series. You got to feel like he steps up a little bit. Let's see. What else kind of stands out? Harden at 46. That feels kind of low. I mean, I think the only way he doesn't get there is like a blowout. Reggie at 21 feels high to me. Those minutes kind of fluctuate off the bench, so there's just a few I like. Again, there's a ton of players they have posted. They also will post single stat DFS, so you can take over under in like points, rebounds, assists, 3-pointers made. They have every single sport you can think of: baseball, PGA, NFL, esports. Again, so it's a nice change of pace from DraftKings. If you want to try it out, you can sign up using the code DKDFS. DKDFS, all one word. Link down below. You will get a 100% match up to $100. Basically, $100 in, you get a free $100 to play with. And before I hop in the video, I just got to give you guys a quick shout out, all you viewers. You guys coming in and checking out the live streams daily, showing your support, liking the videos, liking the live streams. That helps me out more than you guys know. So again, can't thank you guys enough. If you do enjoy all of this content, if you could, leave a like button on the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you know when I upload videos, when I'm live. I will be doing a YouTube live stream tomorrow to go over everything and answer all your guys' questions, so make sure to check it out, and let's try to get to 150 likes in this video. Last few that we've been getting close or actually hitting that, so all right. Before we talk about players and their prices for this 3-game slate, we can look back lineup here from Thursday. All I ask, guys, one slate. Just give me one. Just give me one slate where I don't have to deal with severe foul trouble. I'm not kidding. I know I sound like a broken record, but this is now, I think, 7 or 8 straight slates for me where I have had to deal with severe foul trouble. Not like, missing a couple minutes. Like missing 10+ minutes on key players. It's just, I'm kind of speechless at this point. Like, I honestly don't even know what to say. There's not much I can say other than it's just like, this luck has got to turn around, right? Now, the last slate, again, last night, I thought I was done for sure. I ended up getting into cash because of Mike Conley, Jonas Valanciunas. This slate got pushed out at the very end because, well, foul trouble and basically all my guys. So I can get out of the way so you guys can see. So, the Miami Heat, I guess they are just the worst team in the league now. If you guys watched that game, that hurt to watch. Dragic and Jimmy Butler in this tournament. This is a $100 single entry. Jimmy Butler, 94%. Goran Dragic, 82%. Obviously the blowout both killed them, but Goran Dragic was missing wide open shots. Jimmy, again, was just, blowout obviously hurt those two, so it's like, it is what it is. But that game was just, man, I wish I didn't watch that game. CJ McCollum, again, I mentioned I wanted to go to a more balanced lineup because I didn't really trust the value. So CJ went for 40. That was pretty solid. All right, number one here. You guys ready for quick tilt? I'll give myself 2 minutes here. Okay, so low owned Jay Crowder. Okay. Starts the first half, decent, but like 0 of 5 shooting. Second half, 2 quick ones. Number 3, number 4, right out of the game. Misses a good 8 minutes, at least, from Jay Crowder. Also, 0 of 7 shooting to start. Just missing wide open threes. Michael Porter Jr. I have not been playing this guy all year, but he's been 8.5 to close to 9K, down the stretch of the season with no Jamal Murray. And for some reason, DraftKings lowers his price down to 7.1K, just like tempting all of us DFS players. He's 65% owned. Not only is he just awful, but why not 2 quick fouls to start the game? 2 quick ones. A third in the second quarter, too. Michael Porter Jr. loses probably, I would say, at least 5 minutes. I can't wait for next game when I don't play MPJ and he goes off, and I'm going to lose my mind. And the cherry on top here. Yusuf Nurkic, under 50% owned. Absolutely smashing. Checks in for the fourth quarter. Number 5 and number 6 right away. Right out. Loses 7 minutes. So, couple guys at the end here in this tournament pass me because they don't have Nurkic. Why not, right? Nurkic was on pace for at least 50. At least 50. And one more, I guess. Austin Rivers. So, let me get this straight. I play Austin Rivers. Somewhat low owned last slate. 4 fouls. Plays 20 minutes. I fade him tonight. Plays close to 40 minutes. Career game. Can't miss from 3-point land. That's all I got, guys. I cashed in low dollar stuff. Got pushed out at the very end in high dollar. That was one of the more tilting slates. It's just been every single day foul trouble, and that Austin Rivers thing too. Just top it all off. Oh, hope you guys had a good night. I hope you guys got in the cash, but oh man, I'm not gonna lie. I'm so frustrated. Just tilted beyond belief. All right, let's hope. Please, I know I said this every single slate, but please no foul trouble. That would be nice. All right, Knicks and Hawks, a 211 over-under. The Hawks 4-point favorites. Nets, Celtics, 227 over-under. Nets 7.5-point favorites. Clippers and Mavs, a 219 over-under. The Clippers 2-point favorites. We'll start off with New York and Atlanta. So this one projected to be the lowest total game by far at 211. On the New York side, so Julius Randle's just been god-awful. He has just been awful. 6 of 23, 5 of 16. The issue I have now is the minutes are actually going down a bit on him in the playoffs. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But again, he's not shooting the ball great. It's a decent matchup. I just think I prefer other stars in the slate. So Randle right now, more of a contrarian play. Derrick Rose, I think, is a really safe play at 6'4". He's going to play close to 40 minutes. He's got the ball in his hands a ton. I do like D Rose even at this price. I think, again, very safe play with a little bit of upside. RJ Barrett didn't close last game. Only played 26 minutes. Wasn't in foul trouble. So Tibbs, going with some inconsistent rotations, I think that will lower the ownership in Barrett. I think more often than not he will close. So I think he's an interesting GPP play. Would rather play Rose at a similar price, but Barrett, if you want to get different, I don't hate it. Alec Burks, looks like they're just going to ride him off the bench too. So 26, 30 minutes. I think he's going to play somewhere around 25 to 30 minutes. We know he's a high usage guy, a good scorer. I think he is still firmly in play there in the mid range. Reggie Bullock, I'll pass in at 4.9, did go back to 30 plus minutes. Would just rather play Burks at a similar price. Nerlens Noel got benched last game, so only played 17 minutes. I don't know if the ankle's still bothering him. We'll see, but I'm probably not going to get to him. I guess I would feel more confident with Taj, who they close with. He played 30 minutes. He's a little bit cheaper. I think I prefer Taj, which means I'll go right back to Noel, and Noel will play 30 minutes and have an amazing game. But yeah, I think right now you got to give that to Taj Gibson. Looks like Tibbs is favoring the veteran, down the stretch. Don't play Alfred Payton. Emmanuel quickly at 3.2K. Again, I think it's somewhere around 15 to 20 minutes. If he plays well, they might extend him a little bit more. At close to min price, you can use him for GPPs. But that is it for the Knicks. Moving on to the Hawks. So probably my least favorite team to target on the slate. I think Trae Young is one of those stars you can get to. Again, it's still underpriced, even though it's a bad matchup. 8.6K for a guy that's going to shoot the ball a ton, have the ball in his hands a ton. I still like Trae Young a good amount. Capella, John Collins, right now nothing more than GPP contrarian plays. Now, could one of those guys have a decent game? Sure, they could. I just have a hard time prioritizing either of them. Bogdan, once again, my second favorite play. Mentioned liking him at low ownership. Went for 35 fancy points. Again, he's got to be the number 2. He's a decent scorer. So I think Bogdan is a fair play. Again, more of a contrarian play, though. Gallinari at 4.6 got extended a little bit because John Collins got in foul trouble, so I'm not super excited about that. I think Kevin Huerter at 4.5 is a fair value play. Like, I don't think he's going to kill you, but doesn't have insane upside. He should play about 25 minutes. He's gone for 27, 21, 27 fantasy points the last 3 games. Again, I think he's actually a pretty fair value play off the bench. And then DeAndre Hunter. So he actually played 32 minutes, played a lot better this game. I think he's someone we can get to. If he's going to play over 30 minutes, that price is, I think, a little bit too cheap. And that's probably like Lou Williams. I just don't think it's necessary at 3.3K. I'm moving on to Brooklyn and Boston. So this just depends on, do you think this game can stay competitive, right? It's a 7.5 point spread. Now, this is at home, so I think it's a better chance this game stays close. Let's start off with the Brooklyn side. Harden, KD, Kyrie. Once again, KD's my favorite play. Mentioned him as my favorite play the last couple times here for the Nets of the big 3, just because I think he has the highest floor, right? He can go out and get you the peripherals. He can block some shots, get some rebounds, get some assists. So I think, once again, KD is my favorite of the big 3. Now, guys like Harden and Kyrie are not out of play. They're definitely still viable. I have a hard time prioritizing them on this slate. We'll talk about the Clippers guys. Once again, they're just kind of like free squares. So that's kind of my feelings there. Joe Harris, be careful here is all I'm saying. I know he had the career game last game. This is also in the range of outcomes, right? 14 fancy points. Duncan Robinson in the higher dollar tournaments was pretty popular tonight. He was like 30% owned. You saw what he did, right? That's why I don't like playing scoring-dependent players, is because the floor is super, super low if they don't hit their shots. So if people are going to chase the Joe Harris game, I'm fine going elsewhere. I don't think he's a terrible play by any means. I don't. He should play over 30 minutes and is a good shooter, but might be a little bit overowned. Recency bias after the last game. Blake Griffin at 4.3K. Should play about 20-ish minutes. Yeah, playable, I guess. Now, pretty big news here is actually Jeff Green is out. Going to be out at least 10 days. So you might think, oh, why do you care about that? Well, that opens up a value play like Nick Claxton here. 3.1K, a decent point per minute guy. Steve Nash said they're going to go to him more with Jeff Green out, so he should play the backup 5. I'm assuming now it's going to be a even split with him and Blake Griffin. Like, I don't know who else I could go to at the 5, really. So with that being said, I actually think Claxton is a value play that looks pretty good here at this price. So yeah, sign me up for some Nick Claxton at close to min price. On the Boston side, keep an eye on Kemba Walker. He is currently questionable. I think he plays. This one's just a tricky one, right? Because if this game stays close, you're going to want some Boston exposure. They are going to, one of these guys at least will absolutely crush. Now, Tatum has been awful last couple of games. 32, 22 fancy points, got poked in the eye last game, just didn't return because it was already a blowout. But if they want any chance of keeping this game close, we're going to see a big game from Jason Tatum. So I do have him at the top, and if Kemba plays, I think he will play. Those are the top 2 guys. I think ownership will be a little bit low because of back-to-back blowouts. Again, though, if this game stays close, you probably see a big game from both, I would say, of Tatum and Kemba Walker. So those are 2 guys I do like a good amount here for GPPs. Evan Fournier at 6.2, fair play, should play over 30 minutes in a close game. Marcus Smart had a really slow start, but actually ended up getting there with 37 fancy points. He's kind of a do-it-all guy. I think he's a solid play in the mid-range. Now with Robert Williams, also, again, 5 fouls in 17 minutes. Again, why not? He's the better point per guy of the two with him and Tristan Thompson. So for me, I think it's a slight edge to Rob Williams over Thompson. But if you want to go to Thompson, that's fine too. I think both centers are definitely viable at their respective prices. I'm not going to touch anyone on the bench. Like Jabari Parker got some ownership last night. I warned people, I was like, hey, I do not trust this at all with Brad Stevens. And sure enough, 6 minutes for Jabari Parker. So no, I'm not touching anyone on the Boston bench. Let's finish it up with the Clippers and the Mavs. And let's just like, okay, what is this? Like Russell Westbrook in the regular season? Like, why is Kawhi Leonard still this price, right? Like, I don't need to tell you. You know what to do with Kawhi Leonard at 8.5K. Okay, Paul George also way too cheap. Both guys going to play 40 minutes. I think you can play both together. I mentioned, a lot of people asked me that last night. I said yes, and I think you can do it in this slate too. I really like Kawhi. I really like Paul George. They're just too cheap on this slate. Marcus Morris at 4.7. Fouled out in 25 minutes. Probably plays over 30. Doable value play, I think, because of bad games recently that will lower the ownership, but don't hate it. Rondo. Again, the minutes right now are going kind of inconsistent for these bench guys for the Clippers, so I have a hard time trusting anyone's minutes. He only played 19. Again, playable for tournaments. Ibaka is currently a game-time decision with that back. Only played 6 minutes the last game. If he's out, probably Zubac picks up a few extra minutes. He played 22. So if we get about 20 minutes from Zubac, I think it's actually doable here, 4.1K for value. So keep an eye on the Ibaka news. Ibaka's out. I think you can feel pretty secure about Zubac. And then off the bench, Batum, after game 1 of playing 32 minutes, only played 19. Again, these minutes are fluctuating, so I just have a hard time trusting these guys. Reggie Jackson, I went from 21 to 30 minutes. It's like, again, they're going to kind of go with a hot hand here off the bench. Terrence Mann even cracked the rotation. He got 15 minutes. And then Pat Beverly should start and play about 20. If you want to roll the dice in one of those value plays, you can. It's just not something I feel super confident with their minutes. Because, again, I think they're going to go with a hot hand. Now, if Ibaka's out, does Boogie get in the rotation? Maybe. But, I don't think I can do that on this 3-game slate. So let's finish up with the Dallas Mavericks. And Luka Doncic at the top, I think, is probably, the safest of the really expensive guys. And it's just because 40-ish minutes, he's been killing the Clippers. He can go out and get you a triple-double. I think Luka is very safe if you can afford him. Kristaps Porzingis at 7.6 had a better game for sure. Went for 36 fantasy points. I think he's a fair play in kind of the mid-range. I guess more of a GPP only play though. Hardaway, again, tournaments only. He had a good shooting game. I mean, again, got to hit his shots, but he has played 32 and 38 minutes the last couple games, so that is good to see. Dorian Finney-Smith at 4.8 should play big minutes. Again, though, lower usage guy, but he's one of those guys that's like a filler option. It's doable. Brunson and Jay Rich off the bench. So Brunson played 17 minutes. Josh Richardson played 19. It's like, yeah, they're playable, but they're not going to play huge minutes. And Max Kleber, I think assuming he starts again, is a pretty good value play. He's a low usage guy, but he should play about 35 minutes as long as there's no foul trouble. So, yeah, I'm good going to Kleber there. Again, he's going to be popular, but I think it's for good reason because he's going to play huge minutes. All right, that is going to do it for the video today, guys. So if you have been enjoying the content so far, I would really appreciate if you leave a like button on the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you don't upload videos, you don't go live. Again, I will be doing a YouTube live stream tomorrow. Make sure to check it out, and please, guys, some good variants. Some good variants would be nice. No injuries, no foul trouble. I'm not holding my breath, though. So I'll see you guys all in the live stream tomorrow. Have a good night.